So if love grows, love can die. Yeah, and actually one of the challenges that we have today is people asking why people separating, why people divorcing, is because love died. Because love is a living thing. So you have to feed it with the right, with the correct food. Love is kind. Love that has no record of evils. Love is patient. Love covers a multitude of sins. Love is able to persevere. Love endures. So if you feed that kind of diet to your love will keep on growing.
You're also told that marry your friend. Sometimes like the example you have given, the arranged marriages, so you can meet someone and within like 6 months you find that this person you are compatible. So where do you draw this friendship thing? Because I always like marry a friend.
Yeah, even if you have an opportunity to marry a friend, that's okay, but some people don't have that opportunity. They marry because of like culturally, culture ni kuarejua marriage. So they may not necessarily marry their friend, but you can make the one you marry your friend. Just like the saying that you need to love them, make a choice to love them. You can also choose to make them your friend, because you cannot be married to someone and that is not your friend. Hiyo itawaka. Itaweza tawala huku duniani chini ya maji na pia air, si ndio? Lakini for many years wanadamu hakuna kitu alikuwa anafanya kwa air. Mbona Adam hakufly ndege? Na ni kama alikuwa tawale pia angani, ama si ndio? Lakini it took a lot of years for that to happen. That tells you skills is they are very important to any human being.
Manu anasema ati before the right brothers wakamba walikuwa wanaendesha
man is still taking dominion, and that tells you that man has a lot in their DNA that still needs to be discovered. So imagine kama jamaa alikuwa anaangalia how the right brothers, but angalia how the birds are flying. And through their knowledge of physics or whatever science, they're able to construct something that would fly like a bird, defy gravity, and fly. Ndio. And then from there it is really developed into kuna wakati hakukuwa na gari, but that gari sina zamani. Gari tu. Ndio. In the days of our daddies and moms, hakukuwa na gari inaenda beyond 40 kilometers per hour. Unasikia tikienda 40 papa anajifikiria. So that's why you need to believe in expanding your knowledge, because the more you discover some knowledge, the more you discover some skills that you can use to expand your life into some areas of new dominions.
On the issue of learning language, I can discover maybe somebody that I see, she's good, she's pretty, akona na tabia mzuri, and nijue the only love language yeye anataka ni kubaiwa maua. Then I decide if just to shovel, to pull the chair, I will do that to get her. Now when now I'm married to her, I change and I become Laban. Now how do you rebuild trust now from the other end? How do you rebuild trust? Yeah, this person cheated me, because that thing of love language is, I feel like it's overrated. It's something that men should not expect. Maybe it's a girl thing. Sometimes you're not treating me right. You used to do this to me. Nowadays you've changed. You're not, you're not opening the door for me.
Actually, maybe somebody can respond to him.
I don't think it's just women who have a way that they want to be loved. You may also find a girl who is very respectful. while you were dating and they never shouted at you and they addressed you well and they gave you a lot of affirmation, maybe because your love language is words of affirmation. And now, how would you feel if that girl, after you have gotten married, she's shouting at you, she's speaking in ways to demean you, to put you down? So how you would feel is probably the answer to how a woman would feel if they behaved in a certain way to get her, and then now you reverted back to your bad default.
Okay. How do you rebuild trust after now it has been broken?
No, you just...
You have to go. It's like you are. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, there is something that the pastor said about marriage being a process. And one of the things I understand, immediately you come together, their priorities go on changing. So probably before you got married, there was a lot of attention, the flowers and what and all these things. It's not bad. They are not ignored. One of the things that happens is that you, as a husband, if it is your wife, you don't ignore the fact that she is so attentive or you feel so good when he brings flowers to her. But maturity helps to talk that there are things that were priorities. They go on going less, Yeah, it happens. Responsibilities makes you become more mature, and also it changes priorities. There are things that you would have given attention so much. Now they get on changing. And that is through maturity as time goes by. Yeah.
Can I say how I'm understanding your point?
Yes.
It's as though the love needs that one has while they are still maybe younger in marriage are immature. That's where I'm...
What is actually saying, he still has a point. Because that's what he's saying. Maybe, let's say somebody, let's do the example of a child. The child will love something based on exposure. The levels of exposure. Because love language is something that you have learned. Maybe from your family. From the family, that's how they are behaving. Maybe your dad was very close to your mom. So you feel like I need a husband who is close to me the way my dad. So the definition, because everything that you desire, you learn from somewhere. So but you can be exposed to something else, and then you find yourself changing from chocolate to something else. Changing from but what I'm saying is you have to be together even to notice that maybe sahi apendaji chocolate sana anapenda kitu kingine sana. It's not really a matter of like language. It's a matter of closeness. It's a matter of understanding your colleague and your spouse. So that even when they are changing from one level of thing to another, you still uko pale bado. Usimletee kitu ya jana, yenye alipenda jana, sindio? But on the other hand, those love languages we're talking about, there's some dominant one, they'll never change. There's some dominant things they'll never change. There's some things that I just love. It's very hard for me to change from that one to another thing. But then there are some things in life we'll keep on changing.
That I have on marriage. I'm brought up in a family. There is a father and there is a mother. Nimeoa dem mwenye alikuwa brought up hata ajui babake na bado yeye akona mother. Challenges naweza kutana nazo za kuwa ni
kwa sababu challenges kukutana nazo ama ukose kukutana nazo. The reason why unaweza kosa kukutana nazo is stuck on that end is because these people before they got married, they understood where they're coming from, and they understood that they are a product of those families because you are a product of the home. And that's also later that has been widely ignored. That I am structured by how my family was. The way my dad was behaving, that is naturally how I behave. Naturally, like that would be my natural. So if my mom was behaving, that would be, you know. So if this family was fatherless, I believe in train. Maybe in train, or because of the pain maybe of living without a father, train unknowingly doesn't like men. I don't want a man, and the love thing is happening, you know, and then when they get home and they feel like something from their subconscious just comes up, and the absence of the father was the reason why they went to, they had all these challenges, they've had enough food, all that. So you had to men in Chomoka. I'm just you can have a lot of challenges, but you can have no challenges if before you got married, those are the issues you dealt with. Actually, those are the issues you're supposed to deal with before you get married. In courtship, during that courtship, that's what we're supposed to be talking about. You're supposed to be looking at who was your father, do you know your father, what did you feel in the absence of your father? I think what do you believe about men, what do you believe about ladies, what were you taught about men, what were you taught about even children, and that's why you need very professional guidance before you get married. Jogunja said that in the old days, our dads and our mom used to meet like somewhere in a corner, zero charge, but then that was not all that they did. They didn't just come to the house. There was a lot of skills given in their days by their mothers. Boys, those young boys then, they were skilled and about life. This is my gadgets. All the kind of skill. It's a life that how to relate with the fellow, how to honor, how to relate with the women. Even women are taught a lot how to relate with men. So some of the challenges you're listening to is that lack of preparedness. I'm just saying that if you get married to a person, whether they have two parents, or one parent, or zero parents, or good parents, or bad parents, that is what you're getting into. So you have to make sure that you have worked on that, talked on that, and in case there is any need for help should come before you get married. Because itatokelezea tu, I think what is happening here, nothing is happening. It's just something that you never dealt with. But you can still deal with and train them and direct them even when they're married. You can get somebody who can point to the real problem. So maybe shida yako ni kwa sababu wewe hukuwa na mzazi. And then you're able to help you.
Can I add on that? Yes, one of the challenges that people are likely to encounter. I think I have ever found myself in a situation like that, maybe in a relationship with someone who didn't have a father figure. So, and I felt like what I observed was he was very comfortable with me being the one to put the bills. So I thought that maybe because he saw his mom was the one who took them to school, she was the one who bought their food. Why are you laughing? So he doesn't have that thing inside of him to wanna be the one to provide because he feels it's the role of the woman in the house to do that. So I would say that would be one of
what a great example. It's legal. Okay, these guys that you're getting married to and marrying, they come from homes. And that home is really well structured, perfectly structured within that person. And sometimes they never dealt with it, even when they got born again, they did not know about it, so they never dealt with it, but still there. Kama babake alikuwa anaamka asubuhi akasema kitu fulani, akwambia labda anaamka asubuhi siku moja, akasema kitu kwani amebastrai, kuna kitu haijakuwa dealt nayo. If you're a boy here and not a father, let me tell you, everything that your father brought home is in you. Everything. His attitudes, his emotions, they already describing you. If you are already here and you had a mother, everything about your mom is already in you. Even things that you never liked about your father, even things you never liked about your mom, they are ziko hapo ndani. Na zitokage tu eti toka shindwe. It's a process of working on yourself to deal with those things. The process that some of them need serious counseling for them to come out, and that's why some young marriages are having challenges when they get home because and then what is happening. So that's a good thing.
So, Basi, you have mentioned about something that is very critical. Kufanya research, maybe study mtu, kujua mtu vizuri. Now that brings us to a question that is so much asked in our times on courtship, because this requires some good time. Kufanya research, kujua behavior ya mtu. Of course, you cannot exhaust much of it, but major part of it that will help you to establish your marriage and relationship. So, how long should courtship take? Should it take 5 years? Because other people, the guys that told us one they met, and then wakaka 10 years, and then they got married. There's another one that tells us they courted for 5 years, another one 10 years, another one 2 months. So what is the ideal, or what is your advice on courtship? Because I know you will tell us in a time limit, but what is your advice concerning that?
It's basically the what you want to achieve.
Now, Jeff ameongea about the time limit. Na Bible nasema love is patient. So, Bible nasema hivyo. Now, so for example, umekuwa na udemu, unampeleka dinner, unampeleka love language zote umemfanyia, kama ni gift umempatia, kama ni out umempatia vizuri. Now, kuna hiyo time ya kusema now we need now to date, but katika place anasema like I'm not ready. But a man is ready, but a lady is not.
Anakuita bro.
Sasa
anakuita bro.
Sasa napata like
yeah, kazi.
Mnaanza kubishana.
But you know what Jeremy is saying, it's very, very important. Actually, your courtship, before you get to courtship, you also kumuuliza kama ako ready. Sasa you have to establish that the right person is serious.
What are we?
Ndio.
What are we?
Hakuna mtu serious atakwambia hapana. Ndio. Wengine nasema mapema.
That is a big
Wengine nasema mapema. Unamwambia akuwe serious mapema na akuwe prepared. But you see like this guy
wanakula fair.
Sema, wewe yako kulia. Kama let's the Bible that kind of a text book, you know that. The people that got married in the Bible, they didn't take a lot of time. You find ile malijua ya kwanza kabisa mzuri ya Isaac. Ya Isaac yenye alituma somebody, some gentleman to go look for a wife for Isaac. Abraham actually sent somebody and they can after wife. But I'm telling you, you can go and read that. He's so particular, even on the kind of family. He's so particular. So the things that you're supposed to handle during courtship, ameshazi handle. That's why coach like atahitajiki. Anajua kama ni mtoto wa fulani ndio kwa sawa. Anajua go to this, don't go to akamwambia usiende hivi, enda kwa family fulani. Ndio. And you can see, and you can see the relation. Then the lady that she brought, he came to help that gentleman. The way she's behaving, that girl is really prepared in many ways. But the courtship is supposed to be a time of preparing, of getting ready for marriage, a time of knowing the family as you're saying, knowing the person you're saying. I think zingine waziko na story mingi because they already know the family and their culture was very rich in terms of training people. kati yao. Let's say Ruth is getting married to Boaz. But I want you to see what is happening to Ruth. What they are saying wakati wa Naomi. The kind of stories wanakula. Sindio?
Atukaribia.
Is mentorship. Serious training. Sindio? Anasema kwa huyu jamaa kuna marashi lazima. Lazima uvae nguo aina fulani. Ukienda kwake, kuna venye nafaa kuketi kwa karibu na miguu yake. Unamfunua miguu yake kidogo. You know all that, So these people, as much as their courtship was 1 day or 2 days or minutes, they were still well prepared for what they were getting themselves into. So the 10-year courtship is not really 6 months or 8 months or 10 years or 1 day. It's about achieving the goal. It's about achieving the goal. But siku hizi maybe hakuna hiyo. Siku hizi hata haina goal. Kula majibu. We're not talking of anything important, just talking of things that don't really work. Nataka nikakambia moja, nataka BMW manguo. But this marriage is supposed to be structured in terms of that as early as now, you're not married right now. Right now, now that on a plan, you're supposed to be training yourself on who is a good husband. Nasema kwa msemenya na plan. Ana plan yote ya kuoa. Anafaa kutrain a lady who is not even as ana plan ya kuget married. Anafaa pia kupewa training ama itafute on how to be a good mother and how to be a good wife. So then when they meet, they find that time they're almost ready, you know, like akina msemenya si ready akona hajui kusimulaumu.
To answer this question, how would I be able to know I'm in a healthy relationship? Because that's the key thing.